Now to the United Kingdom, which has been rocked by major financial turmoil this past week. Investors were spooked by the Finance Minister's announcement of unfunded tax cuts worth about £45 billion. The statement by Kwasi Kwarteng last Friday then sent the pound tumbling to its lowest ever level against the dollar. It's all bad news then for Liz Truss, who's only been the Prime Minister for just over 3 weeks. And joining me now to discuss the state of the UK's economy is Hilary Ingham. She's an economist at Lancaster University. Thanks for speaking to us on France 24 today. The Prime Minister did a round of broadcast interviews this morning. Do you think she managed to reassure investors and indeed the British people that her government has this situation under control?
Yeah, as you say, she did make a number of appearances on local radio stations. To be perfectly honest, no, I don't think she did.
I promised I would deal.
I mean, there has been so much commentary, in the media all over about this announcement that was made last Friday, this sort of big giveaway, which, although some generosity was expected, it was far more than was anticipated. So, on the one hand, you've got the government pumping money into the economy, whilst at the same time, you've got the Bank of England actually putting brakes on the accelerator, i.e. raising interest rates to try and curb back consumption. So that the two parties don't seem to be working together. They seem to be working against each other. Although we've seen in the UK newspapers together, there's been pictures of the Andy Bailey, the governor of the Bank of England, and Kwasi Kwarteng together, which I think is supposed to portray some degree of unity. But of course, we know what happened. The pound crashed. It was almost parity with the dollar, which we haven't seen. And then, of course, yesterday we had the announcement that there'd be this huge emergency purchase of government bonds to the tune of £65 billion, because, of course, there was no confidence in the UK economy or UK government debt. And a lot of this is held by UK insurance companies who are responsible for very large swathes of British pensioners' funds.
And on that intervention yesterday by the Bank of England and the buying up of government bonds, has it succeeded, based on what we're seeing so far today, in stabilising the UK economy and restoring a bit of trust in the system?
It has gone a little way to doing that. I mean, it was better than no action at all, and it has restored some faith that certainly the Bank of England are going to do anything they can to restore some confidence back in the UK economy. But I don't think it's got rid of all the lack of confidence we've got there. We didn't have the independent analysis by the Office for Budget Responsibility. I think if that had come alongside the financial statement and that had largely shown that the sort of debt was going to be manageable, then I don't think this problem would have happened. But the fact that they were not prepared to put that out makes people think that maybe it wouldn't have been that favourable. And now, of course, we're all waiting to a date in November, most likely the 23rd, to actually have another financial statement. And we believe this will certainly be accompanied by independent analysis by the Office for Budget Responsibility.
And look, is there a risk of potential contagion from the UK, and that the problems we are seeing in the British economy could spread to the rest of the continent? I mean, not unlike what happened with Greece and then the rest of the Eurozone during the financial crisis.
Yeah, you're exactly right there. Of course, what did happen back in the days of the financial crisis was there were huge, great problems in Greece. Contagion simply means it spreads. So it's like an infection. It moves from one to the other. And it has sort of been suggested that the state of the UK economy, this could be doing the same sort of thing. And it's actually been suggested that it could impact upon the United States as well. So I think that is a wider worry, not something simply for people in the UK, but for people in other countries as well.
And just finally, on this idea of trying to restore public trust in the government, from a political perspective, do you think it would be wise for Liz Truss now to fire her Finance Minister Kwasi Kwarteng, or do you think she needs to roll back on some of these financial reforms that she proposed?
Well, I think the first thing is she's not going to fire the Chancellor. They've worked on these plans for many weeks, if not months together. They're very friendly. They live in the same street. And I don't think it would be a very good signal for an incoming Prime Minister to feel that she has to replace a key cabinet member so early on. Personally, I think it might be wise if they rescinded on the reduction in the rate for highest rate taxpayers, but I don't think they are going to do it. I think they are going to try and battle this out. And we'll just have to watch over the coming days and weeks how this will succeed. But if you listen, to UK radio, television, even Conservative MPs themselves are expressing grave doubts about what has gone on. And of course, they've got their conference coming up. And we know that certain Conservative MPs, Rishi Sunak being one of them, they are not going to attend. So this is really unprecedented times for us.
Hilary Ingham, unprecedented times indeed. Thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. We'll be sure to keep a close eye on what is happening in the United Kingdom.
Thank you. Bye.